Do you recognize these ads? You may have seen them in a YouTube video. And have you ever thought about how they may affect children? Good morning, my name is Shamika Chavda.
My name is Diana Wilson.
My name is Jaden Campbell.
And my name is Jasmine Ali Diaz. And today, my group and I will be discussing the question, to what extent should the regulations placed on advertisements during children's programming be implemented on advertisements during YouTube videos? From my team's research, we came to the claim that since there is such little regulation on advertisements during YouTube videos, children are exposed to a larger volume of ads every single time they visit the website. We came up with a solution that the regulations placed on television advertisements should be implemented to the same extent on advertisements during YouTube videos. According to Diane Hayes of the Federal Communications Law Journal, the Children's Television Act of 1990 was first implemented due to parents' growing concern over how exposure to ads were affecting their children. The Children's Television Act dictated that there can only be 12 minutes of commercials per hour on the weekdays and only 10.5 minutes of commercials per hour on the weekends. Comparing the Children's Television Act to YouTube's community guidelines, there is no such time limit on commercials as there is on television. The community guidelines lay out restrictions on certain video content, such as nudity, violence, and impersonation. The community guidelines also allows creators to add advertisements to their YouTube videos. YouTube creator Jillian Vesey, better known as Pixie Locks on YouTube, describes in her video how YouTubers make money, that YouTubers are able to utilize advertisements and sponsorships. YouTubers are able to add advertisements called mid-rolls before, during, and after their YouTube videos if the video is 10 minutes or longer. By adding these mid-roll ads, YouTubers are able to create ad revenue from their videos. And sponsorships are when companies pay YouTubers to promote their product during their YouTube video. Since YouTubers are incentivized by adding more and more advertisements to their videos, children are exposed to more and more advertisements every single time they visit the website.
Due to the lack of regulation Jasmine previously stated, adverse effects can become present, such as children are incapable of perceiving when they are being advertised to. The American Psychological Association and Barb Gargi state that children under the ages of 4 to 5 can't distinguish the difference between program and commercial content, even when commercial separation devices like those in YouTube Kids are implemented. Both sources also state that children do not understand that they are being advertised to until the age of 8. The distinct cognitive abilities of different age groups provide guidelines as to how the regulation should be implemented. Since children do not understand when they're being advertised to, their personality and viewpoints could also be subconsciously altered. Olivia Ramona and Aurelian Bondrea found out that consumers tend to become interested in the actual visuals of the advertisement without ever having an intent to buy the product. This shows that children can be invested in the ad without knowing that they are targets. This also shows that there can be effects caused from the ads. Not all ads will be negative, but an advertiser's main intent is to promote their product. Since there can be effects elicited from the ads, they can also be negative. Advertisements can also cause lasting memories within the children. These memories will have long-term effects on them. Companies target adolescents even though their products may be intended for adult use or consumption. The American Academy of Pediatrics states that the exposure to thousands of ads that children view may cause an effect on adolescent obesity, poor nutrition, alcohol, and drug use. This is due to the fact that children lack the ability to resist ads. Perfect YouTube ads are created by neuromarketing companies such as NeuroFocus. They use electroencephalogram or EEG scans to view an ad's effect on the person's attention, emotion, and memory. For example, this is the brain scan of Maya Cueva when she was watching an ad under the guide of the owners of NeuroFocus. As you can see, the attention during the ad was very high while the emotion peaked. This shows that the ad was not exactly optimal for YouTube since it was too long and didn't elicit the best emotional reactions. This can This can cause children to become more susceptible to the ads on YouTube.
As Diana previously stated, one effect that advertisements can have on children is childhood obesity. As you can see, according to the National Center for Health Statistics, childhood obesity went from 13.9% in 1999 all the way up to 18.5% in 2016. This is due to the culture change. When back in the 1999, those kind of eras, children were going outside playing with their friends in the streets, and they're not in their houses. They didn't go inside until it was time to eat dinner. But now that technology is becoming more and more prevalent within our society, children are spending more time watching TV, YouTube, playing video games. As you can see, these are two different Barbie ads. This is an early Barbie ad, and this is a more recent Barbie ad. As you can see, the recent Barbie ad has become more inclusive. Notice you see different kinds of women, and they're all in different kinds of professions. That is due to the culture change within the business industry. The business industry has been becoming more diverse aware, so now they're pushing jobs to women, to minorities, whether you're Hispanic, Black, Indian, Asian. They want to be more diverse and include everybody. And this can also affect children because Barbie is a heavy advertiser on YouTube. You can see their advertisements a bunch on YouTube.
The advertisements children view present several ethical issues in relation to children's eating habits and behavior. Food advertising targeting children is predominantly focused on unhealthy foods. And as you can see, the distribution of types of foods in TV advertising targeting children consists of 34% candy and snacks, 28% sugared cereal, and 10% fast food. According to the Journal for Business Ethics, exposure to these advertisements increased 5 and 6-year-olds' preferences for these foods, and as my partner Jaden stated, can increase levels of obesity in children. In addition, many advertisements for tobacco and alcohol products promote positive attitudes toward those products. Many of these advertisements are present in programs viewed by children, which contributes to high brand awareness. According to the American Psychological Association, reviews of research done in this area have shown that exposure to these advertisements can lead to an increase in youth drinking and smoking. As you can see here in this graph done by the National Youth Tobacco Survey, as dollars spent on e-cigarette advertising increased, so did the e-cigarette use among youth. Overall, the prevalence of advertising for unhealthy foods as well as tobacco and alcohol products is unethical, as it creates an increase in adverse habits and practices in youth. This is especially present in YouTube, as many of these types of advertisements are shown before, during, and after the video. Returning to our question, to what extent should the regulations placed on advertisements during children's programming be implemented on advertisements during YouTube videos? We came to the conclusion that since there is such minimal regulation on advertising during YouTube videos, children are exposed to a large volume of advertisements whenever they visit the website. This led us to our first solution, which is media education. Media education involves educating children about the types of advertisements they may view, as well as how to receive the messages they promote. However, there are 74 million children in the US alone, and it would be difficult to integrate media education onto their curriculum on such a large scale. This led us to our final solution, which was to increase the regulation on children's advertising in YouTube. This would create a safer environment on YouTube itself. However, our solution does contain a few limitations. For example, our solution targets the United States. However, YouTube has an international reach. As well as this, YouTube does not believe that it should be regulated in the same way as television, because it is simply a platform for people to upload their own videos. Despite these limitations, we found this to be the best solution because it is the most applicable within the United States and efficient. Thank you. What questions do you have?
All right, thank you. We're going to start on this side and work our way this way this time, all right? So Jasmine, first up for you, in the future, what change would you make to your group norms, and how would you expect that to improve your team's presentation?
Thank you. So during our meetups, we thought that it would actually be better if we met up more and scheduled more meetups in our calendars, because by having more meetups, we will be able to work more and clean up our presentation more and include more data in our presentations.
All right, thank you. What is an example of a compelling argument from one of your peers, individual reports that you decided to exclude from your team presentation, and why?
One example of a compelling argument would be from Jasmine's historical lens. She's found many children television acts, but that was applied to when we were in our broad stages where we just wanted to focus on advertisement and children. When we narrowed it down to YouTube, we decided that would be something that we wouldn't need to include.
Okay, thank you. Shamika, what is a way in which your team's resolution makes you think differently about your own individual research?
My team's resolution was to increase regulation, and my own research was
All right, take your time. You're fine.
my own research was very specific towards television advertising, as that's how the research I did applied to the ethical perspective. However, my team's resolution was focused on YouTube. Though I was able to apply it to the YouTube perspective, my research was broader than I would need to think about how to broaden or narrow down my own research to fit our question.
Good, thank you. Describe an argument from one of your peers' individual reports that makes you think differently about, is that the question I asked you?
No, you asked me that.
No, I asked a different question. This is for you, Dan. Describe an argument from one of your peers' individual reports that makes you think differently about your overall team solution.
Well, from Jasmine's individual report, she talked about how YouTube was under U.S. laws, but YouTube is not under U.S. laws. YouTube is a national company, so it reaches countries other than just the U.S., but we don't have access to all of the laws and information from every single country in the world that YouTube is available in. So, yeah.
All right, that's good. Thank you, Bree.